Hello and welcome to the Beard Talks. This is the Beard, aka John, and this is my special video for the Aliens Colonial Marines in-depth review, which I'll be doing for you now. And before I continue any further, I'm a massive Aliens fan. I cannot stress this enough. I love the first two, was to say Aliens 3 and Resurrection really need to be done, but Alien Resurrection really did not need to be done. I have loved them ever since first seeing them when I was a kid. I still actually remember like going down to a local rental store and renting Aliens on VHS to watch. I was like, screw kids films, I want to see Aliens. Yeah, I was a strange kid, but oh well. So, in this review, where should I begin? Let's start with the storyline, shall we? Right, first of all, there will be spoilers ahead. Skip ahead if you don't want to miss them. If you want to miss them, sorry. Just skip ahead of it. There'll be a link on the screen just to take you over. So, if you haven't skipped, welcome. So this game has a potential sequel to the 1986 Aliens film and picks up 17 weeks after the events of Aliens, where Hicks's distress call is sent out, and all these Marines arrive at LV 426, and these Marines have to find out what has happened. Though when they get to the planet, they're like, the Sulaco's here. Now, if you don't ever watch Aliens, Sulaco is the original ship from Aliens. It's like, it was supposed to be over Fury 161, where it was last reported, and that's where Aliens 3 takes place. But for some reason, it's over the planet now, which they're going, that's not supposed to be there. So the new Marines go to Sulaco and get into a whole heap of trouble as there are aliens on the ship, and a whole lot of bits and bobs that ain't supposed to be there, such as a quarantine areas and cameras, as you can see now on the screen. Yes, plot twist, I hear you say. Well, maybe. Well, after a lot of fighting through the aliens on Sulaco and not learning really much about the storyline and what's going on, you come under fire from Weyland MPs. Now, if you don't know, Weyland's the main guy in Aliens who controls all this like planet thing stuff, and he's a military personnel for some reason on the ship, and they want to kill you, and they continue wanting to kill you all the way through the game. Yes. So, why are they on the ship, and why are they firing at us? Who knows? We have no idea. They just start opening fire on us. But, as usual, things go from bad to worse when the two ships start firing at each other, and one goes boom. And yes, they go big boom. And they have to get to the surface to survive, and that's where they find Hadley's Hope, or what's left of it, as you can see on the screen now. It's very cool. Very nice. Just Hadley's Hope a little bit mangled, a bit of spit and shine, it'll be all good. So with this, there's not much storyline at this point. It's just really survival in Hadley's Hope. And later on you get sent to a research facility to help Bella, who's a female Marine, who unfortunately made out with a face hugger. Stupid woman. Right, so they go to this facility to see if they can get this thing out of her chest. But once there, we find Weyland has been a very good boy and has found the space jockey ship and experimented with it and all the eggs inside it that we learned was in an alien film. So, we find a scientist who tells Bella she can't be saved. Well, let's let her hear it from herself.
The embryo will extract fluid and nutrients from the host to construct a placenta, but it's not like a human's. The placenta is like a weed, rooting itself into every organ in the chest cavity. Look, even if you could surgically remove the embryo, the placenta it's like a cancer. Your organs will begin shutting down one by one, and then you just die.
Well, so Bella dies. Tear rolls down my cheek. That wasn't really touching at all, was it? Oh well. So with this, you find out Weyland's holding a Marine prisoner, a survivor from Sulaco. Wait, what? Bullshit, you say? I hear you say, but no, it ain't bullshit. Apparently, it is Hicks, and the way he survived is, well, but let's hear it from him.
We left LV 426 and sent out a distress call. A call you all responded to. Near Fury, the ship went into alert, and I was pulled out of cryo as the ranking and only Marine. The ship was on alert because Michael Weyland's PMCs illegally boarded the ship. The 4 cryopods ejected safely, but I obviously wasn't in mine.
Well, that's interesting. Well, they find that Weyland is bugging out with a queen, so they every Marine they have left, apparently like 63 or something, and a ton of APCs. Where the fuck did these come from? Literally, look at the screen. It's just like, where the hell did all these things come from? It's like, where were these guys when I'm fighting aliens? Having a picnic on an exploded Atmo processor? Oh, Jesus. Well, you stop the dropship from taking the Queen, and now the last ferry leaving the planet is on its way. So you have to jump onto a dropship and race to catch it and smash into the side of it, leaving every person behind, including the Marines we had. Well, sorry, you missed the boat. Well, you smash into the side ship, which is quite far off the ground if you have a look here. And apparently the Queen can fly, as she gets onto the ship through the hole we made, and other aliens somehow up there as well. What, do they all just fly? But, well, after pushing a few buttons, the alien learns to fly, finally, and you enter a cutscene where you confront Wayland, who everyone knows dies in AVP. Jokes. But really, everyone knew he was a synthetic. Even I knew he was a synthetic before we even went to the cutscene. And, well, you kill him, Bishop downloads everything from the model, and he says, now we know everything. End. Yes, yeah, that's it. That's just the end of the game. Even on Ultimate Badass, there's nothing extra. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's all I'm going to say there. So that is the storyline. Might seem bleak, but there are some golden parts in there, such as you find out what really happened to Hudson, and on one level you are stripped of all your weapons, and you must sneak through sewers which are full of Xenos, called boilers, which are radiated aliens who cannot see but can hear, and you must sneak past them through, which was only really time I felt really like a bit scared, really, and rather excited. But it really didn't last long, as you meet our friend and that's it. Other than that, the only thing really to make the storyline any better is just walking around the Sulaco and finding like names of the Marines and lockers like Drake, Hudson, etc. And like little Easter eggs like Newt's doll's head, legs of Bishop, sentry guns, character weapons like Hits' shotgun. Everything a fan of the franchise could want, showing they actually thought about it and used alien film as a background for the game. And unfortunately, this is the game's biggest strength. It is the biggest strength of the entire game. The bad points about the storyline, use a smart gun for 4 minutes throughout the entire game. 4 fucking minutes! What the fuck? The second most iconic gun, and you only use it for that amount of time. And then the ammo, you go for the ammo like fucking ridiculous. Whereas your friend, O'Neill, has a smart gun for the entire game from Act 3. Fuck you, O'Neill. Fuck you! Plus, use the power loader twice, and even that ain't that exciting, as it's a bit clunky and just moves about a bit too much, and just like trying to hit something. So, if this is a sequel to the movie, it answers 1 or 2 questions, such as what happened to Hudson, or what happens to your body when you have a chest burster. But really, other than that, the other questions are shrugged off, and the biggest one of all is in Hicks, who was in cryotube, and then he weren't, and this is his answer of why he wasn't in there.
So, whose body was in your cryotube?
That's a longer story. I care about one thing, taking these guys down.
What the fuck? Really? Really? That is a big middle finger to every fan. That is. That's just like, fuck you. Enjoy your time. That's just stupid, that is. Well, let's talk about the game itself. Well, if I'm honest, I really want to defend this game, but I can't, and it pains me to say it. The game is quite bad. The graphics, the textures, the gameplay, etc. are terrible. A person with basic understanding of graphical engineering could do better with far less money. The demo that was showed just over a year ago, which was like 9 minutes long, this should be a link in the description, showed more promise and greatness in this entire game. What happened to that demo? Did they say, oh, that's crap, let's start again? The guys at Gearbox said they were fans. Fans! You are no fan of the Aliens franchise. If you were, the entire game would be like that demo. And, it's just stupid. Right, the demo's... Right, first of all, the demo has very good dynamic lighting, and the environments are in full HD and look amazing, worthy of an Aliens like sequel, as it has a sense of dread and a movie style to the game. Whereas the game, the environment looks patchy, half complete, and way too bright, and textures look like something from the N64 age. Just look at them. Look, I'll try to put a comparison on the screen for you. They look terrible. Oh. In the demo, the aliens you saw, they sure move around, like dodge, evade you, meaning they knew the 5 laws of dodgeball, whereas in the game, the aliens would just attack you and run at you, and they just didn't know what they're doing. It's just like, I'm going to attack you, I don't care about myself. Self-preservation wasn't nothing. It was just throwing yourself at you to be killed. Literally, you just aim your gun and you kill them. Plus, they tend to die quite easily and not put much of a fight. Even when they jump on you, you can fight them off. Even with a face hugger, you can fight that that off, which shouldn't happen, as it took 4 of them to get off Ripley in the movie, and even then, it was a bloody fight on their hands. In demo, the Hadley's Hope looks amazing, physically striking. The lighting is dark and dynamic and looks like an Aliens movie, where in the game, yeah, it looks crap. Rust, plus the area is like someone jacked up the contrast and you can see everything. Even in the end of the demo, you see a last stand fight scene against an onslaught of aliens, and you see the environment change, like the door being ripped open, the aliens coming in, or the power loader taking them out with flamethrower, etc., and finally Queen coming in and kicking our asses. This isn't even in the game. True, there is a last stand fight in a vehicle bay which looks like this, but it's nothing like this, as you fight them off and then move on. It's very annoying, as the passive play would have been awesome. It's just like, yeah. Also, at the end of this demo, Gearbox president Randy Pitchford says this.
And that is a quick taste of Aliens Colonial Marines. It's a section from Act 2 of the game.
Act 2? Yeah, right. It ain't even in the game. I know there'll be script changes and but they're etc. The script change, but they really had to cut. They cut the entire bit out. Just it is amazing. It's just like they cut it out. Next, the dialogue between the characters is embarrassing. It really is quite bland. It doesn't really get you excited.
White in color, almost like a spider with a tail.
Yeah, my throat hurt a little, but I'm fine.
Bella, you're gonna die.
There's no character like Hudson where it's just kick ass, which brings me on to the AI. I spoke about the aliens AI being shit, while the NPCs you are given are even worse. O'Neill is your really own ally, and he will do fuck all and shoot at nothing and everything, even if something isn't there. Shamefully, you can't get him killed and take his unlimited smart gun, which I would rather do, because he's a worthless piece of crap. There's one last thing, which is rather annoying: the weapon slots. Instead of just having 4, your primary, your secondary, your pistol, and your grenade, you have a primary and a secondary, which contains 9 weapons, I believe, which you can choose from, which takes away any fear of running out of ammo, and you're going to have to start getting face to face with Xenos. But no, you're Ultramarine and you have every weapon under the sun. It is ridiculous. It's just sitting there just going, I've got all my weapons, I can take on everything, yeah. Well, let's talk about the multiplayer now. Now, the multiplayer might keep this game up, because every time I've played it, I've enjoyed it. It's something different, and it is exciting at times. Even when you're a Xeno, but you're not able to walk a straight line or climb a wall straight, as it's a bit clunky, and you're like, oh, round and round the circles I go, round and round I go. But the weapons are cool, and you use them against aliens with brains, which is actually a challenge and makes it enjoyable, unlike the campaign. And it's just like, and also the special weapon pickups like the flamethrower, the smart gun, the rocket launcher, all fantastic additions. And it's the same for the arrows. You can be a crusher or a boiler. And also, when playing multiplayer, you can actually feel like you're playing Aliens game, as you can get killed quite quickly. Unlike in the game, you can fight off every alien in the photo. Whereas the multiplayer, you have to help your teammates to survive. Plus, the lag isn't really noticeable, which sets it apart from such games as Black Ops 2, whose multiplayer is ruined by lag. But it's just so annoying. It's just that if that's the only real highlight of this entire game. So, the good points about this game are jump in, jump out co-op, if it ain't lagging like hell. The co-op is good when you have a couple of mates. I must admit, I played through the game with a couple of mates and I loved it. It's just, as long as you're with your mates, it is quite fun. The multiplayer is something different, and you won't be shouting at the screen saying, "Stop lagging, you cheater." The Easter eggs in the campaign are brilliant, loving the bits. The only point is the bad points. Yes. Right, the bad points are textures, graphics and lighting, the cutscenes being blocky, dumb AI across the board, storyline questions not being answered, having access to every weapon halfway through the game, aliens not fighting like aliens, the dialogue, storyline ending is a what the fuck moment, and I could continue but I'm not going to bother because it's just stupid. I got 4 good points and literally about 10 or more bad points. It's just really annoying. So to conclude this review, I want you to love this game, but the best I can do is like it, as it is. It has similar characteristics to an Aliens film, as it looks like and it sounds like, etc. But it will never feel like an Aliens game or even a film. It kind of feels like Duke Nukem just running and gunning. It isn't indistinguishable from any other shooter that has come out since GoldenEye on the N64. The only thing to really take from it is the feeling of nostalgia, which really doesn't last that long in the game, and has been but the game has been definitely crafted with a lot of love for the franchise, which can be seen from various points of the game. But it falls way short of what expected from a first-person shooter in this age of games, and even shorter for the fans of the franchise who thought, yes, here we go, finally. But no, it wasn't to be, which is a shame, as with just a little bit more imagination, a whole lot of spit and shine, this could have been a game for the ages and put a smile on every fan's face. It's just, oh. So really, I think all we have to do is really wait for the DLCs to come out and see if anything could be salvaged from the game, and hopefully have some questions answered. Alright, that has been a review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Keep calm, grow a beard, people, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Bye bye, people.